Shalom, shalom, everybody. This is Ivan, the Trinity of Water, with by far the most important show I have ever done. You hear Phil Collins playing in the background. You may not. You can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. Been waiting for this moment all my life. Been waiting for this moment all my life. I shall reveal to you, for those who have an ear to hear, please let them hear. Those who have an eye to see, please let them see so that they can pay attention. I actually have to start by saying thank you so much to the Big G, to the Most High God, to my source, to my guardian angels, to humanity, um, to my subscribers who are trusting me, even if it's subconsciously. Just so much thanks. Just thank you. I don't want to prolong this video, but I just want to say thank you. Humbly, no, really, thank you so much. I shall reveal to you where no man has heard, no ear has heard, though I have seen, it has not entered the human heart. I get to reveal to you the mist story. It's the mist, MISSED story, because it passed everyone's understanding. It's the mist, MYST story. It's the mystery. And it's only passed down from oral. It's so sacred. It's only passed down or from oral tradition, but not anything under fifth dimension. It's nothing new under the sun. So for everything under the fifth dimension, this is because it's living. This is new information. It's only passed orally and has been entrusted to me to share with the chosen, those who are bold enough to receive this. So without further ado, gotta take my time with this one. Without further ado, the mystery. Oh my God, here we go. Oh, here we go. Start by saying, you need to know you have choices. And when I speak of freedom, I'm not just speaking of financial freedom or the ability to travel wherever you want. I'm speaking, or even when I say mental freedom, the ability to conceive thoughts, your own thoughts and imagination. That's a small part of it. But when I say, how can you know what you don't know? How can you ask questions that you don't know to ask? I'll be your ear for those who can't hear. I'll be your eyes, those who can't see. I'll be the light for those who are in the dark, not judging you, not looking down on you. I'm loving you enough to let you know almost all of humanity is dead and don't know. Okay, I can take my time with this one. You have choices. When I say freedom, you actually choose to die. Now, I want you to grasp that and the mystery. This mystery is going to awaken the memory in your water and certain and see that's the root and everything else, the cells, it's going to awaken them. But let me keep going. You choose to die. Now you may say, how do we choose to die? Like, they say we choose to pay taxes. We do, because everyone else is doing it. It's the way it's set up, right? You actually are programmed with telomeres, called telomeres. Do your own due diligence at the end of your cells, which makes your immortal cells mortal. That's why a cancerous rogue cell is immortal, look it up, takes over and runs rapid because the telomeres imprison your cells. So you're no longer immortal. You're no longer infinite, nor aware that you have a choice of it. And you're programmed for death, poverty, stupidity, and being in utter darkness to the degree where if the light comes, you won't be able to perceive it nor want to. You can't handle the truth. And for those who are on their way to finding out or awakening, that's the first thing you try to do is throw water to wake up other people, not knowing that that can hinder them much more than it can help them because that's not your job. Your job is to share your story. And part of all of our stories is the missed story. The story is so reverenced in the fifth dimension and up that it might bring tears to your eye if you can perceive it. So as these telomeres were fearfully and wonderfully made, humanity goes in what's called recycling. Um, you incarnate over and over in a constant insanity. We lost our mind. The big G allowed it because of certain things that people were partaking in and lost the remembrance of who, what we would call God. But God waters the name down to the degree where it says, I'm just the name above all names. You won't even know my name. But the closest you really get to the name is not God or the big G, it's the great love. And we no longer remembered our love story, our missed story. We missed it. It passed us. It passed all understanding. Our peace. wish in the Bible that God says, I wish to give you a peace that passes understanding. Wishes to give it to you, but you have to have the faith to receive it. Or just like in the wilderness for 40 years, it was too much programming. So although they were set free physically, the minds were out of there. To where they would have just rather went right back to bondage and stayed in the darkness. Because nobody can make you remember but source, but the big G, but this great love. Because you're programmed. And after seeing so much, what do you see? You see people what? Die, get older, age. And your cells, your genes that's passed on, it's already programmed for that. And what happens is it's a constant recycling. Ignorance, stupidity, and illusion. First dimension, that's where all the energy is recycled at. Second dimension is like a form of a mental hell. The third dimension is like a suburb of a hell because you have a sense of freedom, but you don't know that you have a choice. And if I told you, you have a choice whether you die or not, you would think I was the insane. Third dimension is a dimension of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Therefore, each generation has perished because they went and they got dead men's works. The Lost Gospel of Thomas said, they said, well, Master, in all these great books, they spoke of you. He said, though you're speaking of dead men, but you have yet to speak the living one that's in you that remembers. You see, because as I told you, when you remember, you think just remember, you don't know how powerful that word is. It was something that you already was a member of. You have to renew your mind. You have to renew your membership because your mind, when it says put on this mind that was also in Christ Jesus, that's the mind of remembrance. Christ knew he was a member of the kingdom. It's kingdom thoughts. It's kingdom. Is in the kingdom, you're set free. He who the Son has set free is free indeed. But how can you be set free when you really don't truly know what freedom is? And it's different for so many individuals. But the program, the program, the programmer program everyone for death, to die. It died in illusion. Therefore, when you partake, buyers and sellers cannot enter my Father's kingdom. When you partake in any aspect of this illusion, you're still a part of it. Therefore, by galactic spiritual law, you can't be set free. That's why they said, God said, I want all of you. Meaning you're giving up this illusion of who you think you are, what you think your family is on a higher level, but what you think you need, the things, the people, the places, that's what keeps you trapped. None of it is yours. Even you, that's not yours, but you think it is. We have forms of what narcissistic tendencies where we take it's about ownership. I own this, like marriage. That's why so many marriages they think they own. And when you think you own something, you hold on so tight to it that it blinds you. And it's different for everyone what that might be. But when you just give it up, it's how Michael defeated in Revelation said Michael, the angel, just angels. But I get to that. Said he was willing to give up his life. See, when you're willing to give up anything, the devil has nothing to work with. It's like, what can you take from me? You can't take my life because you didn't give it to me. That's that story of Christ. That's looked right over, put on the same mind. Christ knew this. Christ knew this. You can't take my life. It was already given over. Do you not understand that the problem is you don't know you have a choice to take care of all this now? It's called the second death. That you kill, you can die right now in remembrance of this self and give your life right there to source, to the big G, in order to gain your real life. And all you're doing is just giving off death. That's how you get the keys to death. But without further ado, I need to get to this mystery. This is the story of water. When I told you guys before, when I asked what was my purpose, and God told me, I need for you to reveal to my people what unconditional love in water is. I said, wow, huh? Yeah, that sounds like an amazing, I'm like, that's it? I'm just being real. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, maybe I heard this wrong. Not knowing that the big G, the God, me, bestowed upon me maybe the biggest, most important aspects. I can't say known to man. Can't say known to humanity. Can't say known to a universe, a multiverse, or omniverse that's just known. Because God so loved the world, sent his only son to protect us from source's own wrath, from a people who has completely forgotten who the big G is and is in darkness serving idols, completely unaware of it, worshiping statues, American idols, man-made idols, going on right in front of our eyes, but very few are paying attention because they think it's free. Let me say that again. They think attention is free. So you're paying all your attention to things that are not uplifting the kingdom or uplifting who you are. You're not paying yourself first. your true tithe. Therefore, even though I'm about to reveal to you the mystery, it's only revealed in unconditional love, so you won't be able to perceive it. For light came into the world, and the world perceived it not because it was stuck in darkness. But for those chosen few, whenever, however, you see this and it's revealed to you, I just want to say congratulations. The excitement, it might be, you might be in tears. I don't know when it's truly revealed, but I want to say I'm proud of you. I want to say I see you without even seeing you, and I know you without consciously knowing you, and it's so beautiful that all these things, when we read about how can you say you love me whom you've never seen, but you don't love your neighbor who you see every day, because you don't know yourself, you don't know your choices, you don't know you're in utter darkness, because it feels, hey, got two houses, a car, nice family, go to church every Sunday, not knowing that's just a part of a religious program, a program that you're tuned into. It's time to change the channel to the mystery. This is the story of water. At the beginning, it was water. Say at the beginning, it was God, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Word, which is a sound. It was things, all things that were not seen. The beginning was water with the energy of unconditional love. This is why it doesn't matter who may hear this. People say, well, what if you give it to itchy ears or you give it to whoever and they run with it? The truth is hidden in plain sight, because if you're not in an unconditional love, you can't enter the kingdom. That's why the Pharisees and the scribes, they hid the keys, the mystery, because they couldn't enter the kingdom. So they didn't want us to enter it either, because they didn't know it was one. They didn't know or truly believe that this day will come where the Most High God will reveal to his people. Story. And when I say Pharisees and scribes, I'm not talking about just people on this third. This is a very, very simplistic, higher level topic that I'm talking about. Simplistic, but it's overstanding. That this mystery, the prince of the air, all these things are set in place to block, to block your channel, to block you from receiving this. The water in Flint, it wasn't just Flint, Detroit, the hand of Michigan. Some great things happening there. I just say that they're trying to stop it, just like the birth of Christ. That this was they knew these things were predestined, and they try to stop it because they're also caught in illusion. That this thing has happened over and over again, but they don't even remember. That's why I say it's already done. That the story of water and unconditional love frequency was at the beginning. You don't see a feeling. When you're in unconditional love, when you're in love, you don't see it. How do you know? You just know it. You feel it. Nobody can tell you otherwise. We're 80%, and really it's 90. They say 70, it's really 90% water, but you don't see it. All the generations that perished from not being able to get out of ignorance, no, not one was able to pass. So the peace, people wanted wisdom over peace, over purpose. And it was Solomon said it was the vanity of vanities. All is vanity and vexation. Nothing is new under the sun. For Solomon asked for wisdom. But with the qualities of God, wisdom isn't actually there. For wisdom is powerful in death, but doesn't serve much purpose in life. Because in life, fifth dimension and on, it's only the wisdom of the Most High God you have on the mind. So you don't even need to think for yourself, nor yourselves. You already have a direct path that the mystery, whether two or three gather in my name, I'm in the midst. It doesn't have to be two or three actual people. It can be the mind and the body. It can be the mind, body, and soul. It can be certain aspects of the cells. But when you gather together, that's the name, unconditional love is as close as we can get to the name here, in your purpose, you automatically start to pH your water. So when Sabi figured out that all illnesses to be healed when you pH the body, when you alkaline it, the same thing, pH in it, it can't exist. Why can't it? Because the frequency is too low when you're when you're at pH, when your body is alkaline. That's why I said so. Rogue, immortal cells, although it can cells that's in bondage. See all this going on innerly, and we don't even know it. But cells that's in bondage, imprisoned because of the telomeres, those cancer cells can go rogue. But when you truly understand, we have a choice. Choose to this day whom ye may serve. And you find out that choice is really simple, but not easy. Because if it was easy, what everybody would do it. But what is everybody doing? They following a delusion. They're following a lion, somebody lying, and not the lion. So you don't know that only in freedom, only by when you pH the body, You hydrate the mind. You free your cells. CELLPHS. You get them out of bondage. Dormant things begin to awaken, and you begin to tap more into your God DNA in your brain, which is your computer that begins to start programming your body, getting it prepared to put on the mind in Christ Jesus, Christ consciousness. And it's just a renewing, which needs to be explained so much more. A renewing is a changing of your mind. It's a changing of direction that the neural pathways in the brain was already set and programmed for death and delusion and recycling. You change the direction. You become the director, literally. You change the channel, which a channel is like a dimension. You change it. You program the brain for something else. And then you free the cells. So I say you got to free yourself before you could free anyone else. And only in the kingdom you have to be set free first. He was set free. He was the sun, your light. I am the light. I am the way. That's Christ consciousness. I am the truth. But you have to be able to handle truth, your truth, generations of truth that's all laying in you in a shadow that was actually here before you even got here again, because that's your way out. But you try to ignore it or hide it, but it's your way out. But it's unconscious. Unconscious mind bears all that. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Sleep, it bears it all. So you may live in your darkness until you're ready to awaken. The mystery, the story of water. Water, when energized in unconditional love, it's the most powerful thing known. Something that sounded so simple, and something that you possess. But what power is it if you're unaware of it? The mystery. It's all in the mist. When you breathe, that's why when you breathe, you're able to tap into more, and it puts you at a sense of peace because you're breathing in air and releasing things. You're transmuting water, not energy. Understand? Water. You know, you could take water from the air. Everything, like I said, every generation that passed, what? The flood. You can't destroy water. Water has memory. And when you program your water for unconditional love, 963 is your angle. You notice when you begin to awaken, some of you, that you start seeing, they call it angel numbers. It's angle numbers. Your path. It's being directed. So for those who say it's evil, just don't know what it is. Nor because I know I didn't. So what happens? A sense of fear may kick in, and when fear kicks in, therefore you're going to say certain things is evil because you fear it because you don't know what to do with it. That's why people stay in darkness because they fear their truth. The very thing that's bringing them out, they fear it. So they go on and follow the blind, like Samuel, the blind God, instead of the God that gives you free will, that says, look, I can't make you love me. I won't make you love me. When you choose me, I choose you because you were already chosen, predestined. But it's up to you how many times you're going to go in circles. And when you going to remember, and I did this before. And you renew your mind by saying, I'm not going to do it again. All the generations that perished because they were so stuck in delusion they couldn't remember. Some that said, well, you think that your fine garments and your riches, and but yet you are poor because you don't know who you are. When you don't know who you are, that is being poor, and that is your choice. You're actually choosing it. The mystery. It's a story missed by all of mankind because it was too simplistic. Water and unconditional love. Every illness, the Lamb's book of life, all the remembrance. Think of the air, all, and I'm talking about all the generations, everything, the beginning, all of it has ever existed. It's in your water and it's interconnected. We are all truly interconnected. We 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 can we can use telepathy not by the mind but by the water that we possess, where we're on the same frequency of unconditional love, and you can't buy that. That's why it says store up treasures in heaven, bring the kingdom down. All the the, the resurrection. So although you may pass, transition I should say, you're not going to be recycled. You're going to be resurrected. You learn that you are truly immortal. The mystery, the mist, all I'm the mist, one you've been looking for your whole, can't just say life, lives, right there. All in the mist, the dark holes, all the dark, the matter. What's Cat Williams on his comedy thing of telling truth? What is the dark matter to it? The dark matter that's all around you that you can't see, kind of like the kingdom that's inside of you and outside of you, but man see it not because here darkness that you believe, that you can't see what you perceive, dark matter. The darkness is actually a light. But you have to be able to perceive that. Man can't perceive it. You have to be Superman, teaching you how to become Superman and immortal. And it's not anything demonic, it's not witchcraft, it's not magic. It's so simple. You learn yourself, you free yourself, and you learn unconditionally. You're not you don't have agendas, the agendas of this world. Everything in this world has an agenda. You you remember a covenant that you had with the Most High God, and you begin your first works again. You remember what you were doing. For me, my angle, my main guardian angle is a number 9, humanitarian. So my path that God has directed for me, that's already for me individually, starts with that, with humanity. Starts with a reverence and love for mankind, that I'm sharing with you something that money can't buy. Something that no, just the perception of it could only be revealed to you intimately by building that relationship with the Most High God. And it's so beautiful. So beautiful. It's nothing forced. Nothing forced. Just that's love. Even though I see you in darkness, I see you in ignorance. No matter how many times you got to do this, I know you're going to come back. I'm going to let the other 99 sheep go, and I'm just going to choose one. For God, your wrath, it's just one, to see the beauty in mankind, to see the beauty in self. Will you not destroy us? If just one can figure out, we can petition for humanity and unconditional love, no matter how crazy people might think that this one person is. Will you not destroy us? If just one, because this one is going to bring back the 99 by sharing your story, because this one knows how powerful it is and believes it, has faith in it, and is bringing down something that has never entered this world. The mist story is being revealed to mankind. That your water that you're in possession of, that from the beginning of time, bloodlines that are also blind, that people are saying, oh, I should hate them. They're also blind, deaf, and dumb, doing the same thing over and over, stuck And what's blinding them stuck in a form of power, wanting to be worshiped, wanting to be worshiped, thinking that they tricked humanity and got away with it, not knowing all this time they're working. Babyface said it best. Love makes things happen, and it's always been that way. Love gives us everything. Unconditional love gives us everything that we need. Problem is, we couldn't see that we needed unconditional love. Say that again. Unconditional love gives us everything that we need, but we couldn't perceive that all we needed was unconditional love. So our water couldn't remember. But when your water is programmed in unconditional love, the power of what you can pull upon as you need it is infinite. The power that you possess inside and outside, that's in every last one of us, is the most powerful thing that's not known to man, that's hidden in earthly vessels. Christ in you, a hope, the glow rays, your chakras. It programs the water programs. When you're in unconditional love, you don't even need to secrete your all your paths. For those who love God unconditionally, all things work together for their good. All things, not some things, all things. And so beautiful about it. This type of power. If a person says, "Oh my God," that if they can even perceive it, what the things I could do with that type of power? It's not unconditional love. You can't even get it because you don't have a relationship. The Most High God, with the great love, you would be spit out. For I didn't know you to be known. I didn't know you because you chose to stick in the delusion, the darkness. I don't even know who you are. For I don't see you like that. And when you see the world, how can you say you love me who you can't see, but not the your neighbor who you see every day? When you can't see past the delusion and see the true them, something that I thought was like a curse, because I'm like, why do I always see the best in people, but they seem to see the worst in me? Not knowing that was one of the greatest keys that God ever gave. He saw the best in me when everybody around me could only seem to see the worst in me. The image, when you can see the true image. Martin Luther King said, I had a dream. Oh, but this dream, I'm telling you, you can imagine this dream. This dream is the dream of life, true abundant life. that the mystery of your water just has to be programmed in unconditional love. You don't need it. Only thing it costs is you paying attention to yourselves. And it's going to take off those telomeres and it's going to free your cells. It's going to get rid of any ailments, any type of cancer, in any of that. It's like the lost gospel of Thomas said. You won't taste death. All forms of cancer and all those are forms of death when you look up the etymology of it. Ignorance is a form of death. So ye shall not surely die when you eat of this tree of delusion, but yeah, you're going to be deaf. Deaf, no ear to hear. Passed on generation to generation to generation. The giving away of your birthright. And the wealth, that's how the wealth was given to the wicked. And now we're bringing it's all coming back. Because they thought that that was wealth. That's worldly wealth. That's wisdom. Spiritual wealth is water. But you don't know what to do with it. See, you can know something. You know, I had a lot of knowledge, but it didn't change anything because I didn't know what to do with it. Therefore, I couldn't put it into action. So funny. It's just so beautiful how the Most High works. That the right, perfect, strategic time, just when you need it. 'Cause we don't know what we want. We don't even know what we need. That's why it's necessary to give your life over because you didn't know what to do with it. But when you do what you thought was your life, then the renewing takes place. From age to age to age, everything that ever existed, all the floods that took over mankind because they didn't know. And I say this for last for for certain people that might have had itchy ears that was watching this. The ark is built from within. That's the ark of the covenant. The covenant that was made between you and your source, your most high God. And you remember it. And that's why you begin to see the numbers, your angels, your guardian angels. That's why it comes in numbers because it's directing your path. It's teaching you how to build the different angles of your arc. And it's all individually set up, designed just for you. And all of our arcs are different. But when the deluge, when the flood comes, we will be able not only to perceive it, because most will perceive this as something negative. But when you're in the real one, the most high, when you're in the mystery and you're prepared, your perception of it is just the most beautiful thing that could happen because you didn't follow the world. You took the straight and narrow path. You went another direction. You know an enemy is coming. Then take watch then. Watch the tower. That your water is already programmed. When this flood comes, your ark can handle it, perceive it, utilize it, because it knows what to do with it. Therefore, it's not afraid of it. So, what will drown most, what a lot of people somewhat perceive as this plasma attack that may take place, and they think this is all going to happen outwardly, not knowing some of it has already happened. But this is battles from within. This is battles for the mind, mental warfare. And as I said in my other videos, I'm a mental rights activist here to share my story, the mystery, to awaken things in your DNA, to get you to ask the questions to yourself, yourselves, your God, all individuals, to build that relationship, to set you free. We're our own son, the Son of Man. So you can shed your light to be a light in this darkness with, listen, with no agendas. Your agenda is just like Christ said, to do the work of my Father who sent me. Everything else is a distraction and a delusion. It doesn't matter how logical it may seem. Doesn't matter what people that's in death say. Let the dead bury their own dead. You only dwell in life. You're free. He who the Son has set free. Your deed, you have your deed. It's free indeed. Your deeds are free, meaning you don't got to get paid with gratitude, with money, pats on the head, pats on your butt, acknowledgement. You above all that. And it starts with just being aware of it. It starts with just being aware of what this freedom. And not saying that's all that freedom is, but I'm saying most you're not aware of that. A free mind. What do you perceive individually that is? What does this mystery mean to you? The story of water, real water that was diluted in your mind of what you think water is, just like love was, because we forgot. Therefore, we can't utilize it. The mystery is here. The mystery is here. John Baptist, baptized in water, said this time it's gonna be fire. Not knowing, you know, and when you think of fire again, it's deluded or a delusion thinking of fire. Do you know how steamy water can get when it rises and crystallizes? All things are just inclusions of water. All things, energy, all of it, inclusions of water. That substance. Father, the Mother, the Son, Trinity that's in you. I know about the CFS fluid that's risen in the beautiful parts of the body, so beautifully designed. But your water, what connects us, the remembrance of all the failures, successes, the pain, prior existence. But how will it end? We truly know the end should be just as the beginning. Water in unconditional love, no longer diluted. What's it, y'all? Our water just got diluted. What happens when you dilute water? It gets heavier. It's heavier, and it begins to sink. Now it's time to rise it. Now it's time to rise. Let the true chosen ones rise. And we rise up. It's like I always knew we would. Never doubted it for 1 second on certain levels, but doubted myself to this day, no matter what's revealed to me, as powerful as it is, because of all the programming. But on higher levels, never doubted it for 1 second, because I know it's something that loves me way more than I can love myself, that knows me, because I was crazy. You got to be crazy, y'all. You got to be what the world perceives as crazy, because the world is insane. It's insanity. The world is lost, literally lost their minds. So to get it back, you have to be what the world considers crazy. That's why I said, if the world don't consider you crazy, you're not doing something right. It's literally backwards. Literally, the 369 that Nikola Tesla talks about, it's 963. Literally, the things are being turned around, being renewed. Your mind is being turned back and reprogrammed with the God code, the G code. And you're going to be considered crazy. You're going to be targeted. Listen, it was already predestined. It already happened to, when you read about the disciples, when you have that message that you're bringing, it's going to put people in fear. Therefore, when they're in fear, they don't know how to handle it, especially if they know you. That's why I say a prophet is never welcomed in their hometown, because they're going to say, I know you, know you. And they're going to try like everything, because they're programmed to, like everything, to try to convince you that you're that person from your past, to keep you there, because the programmer has programmed them to do that. For everyone that's in darkness and in bondage are agents. And when you partake in anything they're partaking in, you're working with them, and you're guilty by association. That's why God said, I have to have all of you. You have to give that life up. You have to give it up so you can really be living. You have to give up all the death, a little little bit of death, a little bit of delusion will eventually what? Dilute everything. One bite of an apple, just one little taste to mess up generations. And it did. And it put a curse upon us that's been broken. It's been broken. Literal chains are being broken. And this is one of the most beautiful times ever. A time that was already predestined, a time, a time that's actually being celebrated in other timelines. See, that's the mind you get. As crazy as that might sound to some, soon it won't. It's a time that's already being celebrated. It's already done. Our job is to get to that timeline. Our job is to, when these floods happen, to be able to be aware of them. Our job is to be there and do our first works that we did in the kingdom. We are doing kingdom work here. We become an angel of God. Our angles bend light. We walk, we're in right standing. We're doing our first works again, helping, being the ear, because most can't hear. So we share what we hear just by telling our story, because our story is the mystery. We missed it, but now we're catching it back. We missed it. We all missed the mark. We all probably been here so many times. Most cannot perceive it. Doing the same thing over and over. Temptation, Revelation, it said that the world will be tempted, and that temptation is different for all individuals. And that temptation is here before you enter, to see if you can pass this test. God just waiting. Most High said, when are you going to choose me? I already chose you. You already chosen. When you choose yourself,